Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Hold on to your hats because what's buzzing around the league right now could be a game changer for the Lions' future. Rumors are swirling that the San Francisco 49ers might be willing to part ways with one of their top stars, Nick Bosa. And it's not just some idle chatter. This is serious, and if it happens, it could reshape the NFC landscape, especially for the Lions. You see, the 49ers, with a record of 5-8 and battling injuries all season long, are looking at the future. They're in a tough spot right now, and sources close to the league are suggesting the Niners are considering trading Bosa, one of the most dominant pass rushers in the NFL, in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026. That's huge. It would free up about $20 million in cap space, which they could then redirect towards strengthening their offensive line and secondary. Basically, they're trying to accelerate a rebuild, similar to what they did back in 2020 when they traded DeForest Buckner, which initially hurt their front seven but eventually set them up for success. Now let's talk about Bosa himself, because he's not just any player. He's an elite edge rusher, a true game wrecker. Over his career, Bosa has accumulated an incredible resume: 64 sacks, 91 tackles for loss, and 13 forced fumbles in just 85 games, according to Pro Football Reference. That's consistency, that's explosiveness, and that's the kind of player who can flip the script in the playoffs. In 2025, he's been hampered by injuries, limited to just 3 games, but even in those limited snaps, he's been impactful. Bosa has 9 solo tackles, 8 assists, 17 combined stops, and 2 sacks, and he's still grading out at an impressive 92, won by PFF for pass rush. His win rate is around 18%, which might not seem huge, but considering his limited playing time, it's a sign that when he's on the field, he's still a nightmare for offensive lines. His explosiveness remains, and he's a player who can elevate any defense he's part of. So why would the 49ers consider trading him? Well, after extending several key players, their cap space is tight. Post-extension, they're probably looking at sacrificing some of their star power to free up funds. It's a tough call, but they might see trading Bosa for a first-round pick as a smart move, especially since their pass rush has already taken a hit. They estimate about 15% less pressure without him, and opponents are increasing their QBR against them by roughly 10%, especially with Armstead out in 2024. The Niners are focusing on developing younger players, like Warner, and building for the future, even if it means parting ways with a superstar. Now let's bring this closer to home. The Detroit Lions, sitting at 11-1 and leading the NFC North, are a team riding high this season. Their defense has been one of the best in the league, surrendering just 18 2-points per game, a testament to their overall dominance. But the injury to Aiden Hutchinson, who's recovering from an ACL tear, has been a concern. Still, the Lions are quietly positioning themselves for a deep playoff run. Imagine adding a player like Bosa into this mix. That would mean a devastating duo on the edges, with Hutchinson's return and Bosa's relentless pressure creating nightmares for any quarterback. Fans, it's not just about one player, but how he fits into the bigger picture. If Bosa joins Detroit, projections show a potential increase of over 20% in pressures, with 12-plus sacks annually. That's game-changing. It would elevate the Lions' defense to a new level, making them even more formidable in the postseason. Current edge rushers like James Houston and Josh Paschal are talented, but pairing Bosa with Hutchinson would create a double-trouble scenario for offenses. And let's not forget, Bosa's impact goes beyond just sacks. His ability to collapse the pocket, force turnovers, and pressure quarterbacks like Jordan Love or even mobile QBs in high-stakes games could elevate Detroit from a good team to a true NFC powerhouse. In fact, the Super Bowl odds are already reflecting this potential shift. Right now, Lions are sitting at around plus 950 to plus 300 in some betting markets, and adding Bosa could push those odds even further in their favor. His presence might turn them into serious contenders, especially in big moments. We're talking about a defense that could be the backbone of a Super Bowl run, echoing the legendary Steel Curtain of the 1970s. His intensity and relentless pursuit could set the tone for what many are calling a Lions golden era, A chance to finally bring Lombardi back to Detroit with a defense that strikes fear into everyone in the league. And let's be real here. Bosa isn't just a pass rusher. He's an X-factor in the playoffs. His ability to get sacks on key third downs, to turn the tide in close games, and to dominate clutch moments could be what takes Detroit from a playoff team to a Super Bowl favorite. When you consider the history of dominant defenses, players like Bosa are what legends are built on. The Lions' front seven, already solid but possibly about to get a major upgrade, could become the envy of the league. Imagine Bosa pairing with Hutchinson, creating a relentless duo that opponents would dread facing. The trenches would be impenetrable, and that's exactly what Detroit needs to push deeper into January and beyond. Looking ahead, the implications are huge. If Detroit manages to acquire Bosa, it signals a clear intent to push for a Super Bowl title. It's about solidifying the team's identity as a defensive powerhouse, capable of shutting down the best offenses and creating chaos in the backfield. It would also send a message to the rest of the NFC that Detroit isn't just a good team, but a serious contender. The division rivals, especially Green Bay and Minnesota, would have to rethink their strategies because the Lions would be fielding a defense that can match their high-powered offenses, and then some. It's about creating a dynasty, and adding a player of Bosa's caliber could be the key piece that finally pushes Detroit over the edge. Now, fans, I know we're all excited about the potential of this move, but it's still just speculation for now. The NFL is a league of surprises, and nothing is set in stone until it happens. But one thing is for sure. If this trade does materialize, it would be a game-changer for the Lions' future and a statement to the entire league that Detroit is here to stay and they're coming for that Lombardi. The excitement, the anticipation, and the possibilities are all part of what makes being a Lions fan so special right now. We've seen flashes of greatness this season, and with a move like this, the sky's the limit. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news.